Hey everyone, welcome back to From the Road with Robert, back with another video. Today we have that review that I promised you for the tire pressure monitoring system with the backup camera. So let me go ahead and get started on that. Alright everybody, welcome back to From the Road with Robert. Alright, so want to get everything out of the way at the beginning here. I want to thank everybody for joining me, watching my videos, making comments, your likes, subscriptions, the whole kit and caboodle. If you haven't considered subscribing or smashing a like button or making a comment, reaching out, go ahead and consider doing that right now, or wait till the end of the video if you wish to. Anyway, today I've needed to do something on this hobby for a while. You guys may or may not know, depending on if it's your first time watching or not, but I drive a 30-foot, 28-foot to 30-foot motorhome, 6 tires, and I don't have any TPMS sensors. And my biggest concern is if the front tires here will get pressure too low on the steer tires, and that could cause a potential blowout, which would be catastrophic in a motorhome such as this. Also, I care about the back, but I do really care about the front the most. What this company has done, I've reached out to them before, and well, no, they reached out to me originally. I think Halowview, I did that backup camera. I use that all the time. Even driving down the road, that thing really helps me out. And I noticed on another fellow YouTuber's video that they'd set up a system with the TPMS sensors. So I reached out and says, hey, any chance of you sending that my direction? I need TPMS sensors. I don't want to add another screen to my dash. And this is what they sent me. So this thing is the same as what I have with the camera, this little solar panel on the roof to charge it. But it has a different screen that has the TPMS on it, and then it comes with, in my case, 6 TPMS sensors. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this thing and see what we got inside. It's packaged the same as the last one. Really good solid box, just tells you some of the specs on the outside of it, what it can do, and just a picture of what's inside of it. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this opened up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I opened it up. First thing we got inside is the instruction manual for the touchscreen system, and what looks like another user manual for the touchscreen with the tire pressure monitoring. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those aside real quick, and then as I lift up this right here, inside we got some goodies going on. We got a couple of signal boosters here. From my understanding, these signal boosters are for the tire pressure monitoring system. On the right hand side here, we got a couple of different mounts for the cameras. Not just for the cameras, hold on. For the solar panel for the camera. My hope is I can leave the existing camera that's mounted, because what would be the sense in trying to take that all off the roof and re-put it back on? And I think I'm going to put this camera as like a dash camera, because I think, if I'm correct in thinking, you can have a bunch of cameras connected to this one screen. So it'll be kind of like my security system when I'm not driving. In the middle here, this is the screen. Comes nicely packaged, similar to the other one. And then a bunch of different hardware here, along with the TPMS sensors themselves. These just screw onto the valves of the tires. They did include an SD card for storage. This doesn't usually come with it, but they did throw this in for me. And then just some more sensors right here. And then these are the batteries that I do believe go inside the tire pressure monitoring sensors. They're just regular watch batteries. And let me go ahead and put this down real quick. We'll lift this up and we'll see what's underneath. Alright, so underneath here we're revealed with the solar panel, similar to the last one. Same construction, same kind of panel. Do believe it's about the same. Yep, looks the same. We got some antennas here, power cords, again some more mounting hardware and stuff for sticking everything down. A power supply should you want to, I believe, plug in the screen or the camera. I'm not too sure on that. And then there's this bay we looked in before, that's got all the bits and pieces for mounting and a couple of the TPMS sensors. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, get this all unboxed, figure it all out, and then we'll figure out what we need to do from here. Okay, so I got the screen swapped out. I mean, this is it's upside down on the camera, but this is almost an identical screen, so it was very quick to just slide this one off the back bracket that's down there and slide this one in. Slightly different antennas. Camera right here right now, identical to the one that's already on the roof. The little antenna, little pigtail I found here with a barrel connector. I can plug this into power up front here, but I think it's not going to go right there, but it will go right up, probably up front here somewhere, and that'll communicate with this. Then I have the option, I can select each channel, or I can go to, I think, Q mode, which will split in 4 for the 4 cameras that this system can have. So what I got to figure out is how to pair the existing back camera to it already. There's a pair button, and that allowed me to switch the other camera over to this system. So once I figure that out, we'll get that sorted out. We'll have both cameras on. I'll mount this one up front. We'll have the one that's already up there. I'll show you guys that setup, so if you haven't seen the video before, you know how I did it before. It's the same pretty much. And then we'll get the TPMS sensors installed. Alright, be back in just a moment. Okay, so I think I got both of the cameras working. In the manual it talks about pairing. I put one of them on channel 1, one of them on channel 2. There's 4 available. Real quick, before I go inside and double check the system, I'm waiting for it to time out to make sure the automatic shut off is working. I'm going to climb up there and show you where I put the panel and the camera originally, so you can see how that installation was done. Alright. Okay, so we're back up here, the top of the RV, and I wanted to show you how that's mounted right there. There's the camera that was originally here. There's a sticky mount, a very, very good sticky mount. That camera's been there for almost a year. It's holding that down. Same with the panel here. They're connected together. Camera turns on and off automatically as driving and points behind the RV. Very good sticky mounts. This has not moved in almost an entire year. Alright, let me get back down. Okay, so we're back behind the driver's seat. We are going to check the screen. I just placed the other camera right here, just temporarily. I gotta mount it fully. Obviously, I just showed you guys the back one that was already here with that same solar panel that's out there on that table. And yeah, so let's go ahead and supply power to this and make sure both cameras are working. Okay. They should automatically both power on. Is how this is supposed to work. There we go. Alright, so on the right, I got my reverse camera, and on the left, I got my new dash camera. To split that, you can tap, it'll go to each individual camera. This one's got the backup lines because it's the reversing camera. But you can switch what camera you want to go into. So if we go to camera 1, that's the one that's out the front. I flip the orientation, that's available in the settings. And then camera 2, reversing camera, is right here. And then here's some of the settings of the camera. So you can adjust the brightness, turn on the LED light, turn on and off the audio, reversing lines, etc. If you just want to get to both cameras, you would just hit Q mode like that. I don't have anything on channels 3 and 4. I could add another 2 cameras, but I just have the 2 for now. That'll show you both cameras. So we'll go back to here. Okay, it goes back to the single camera. Then you can go into the menu. And I just used the pairing menu here to do that. You get your picture settings, mirroring so you can flip the orientation, the Q mode. This is where we choose how we want to split the cameras. They give you quite a lot of options. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go back to Q mode because that's what we're going to want it on. Now I wish the backup lines would appear on the other camera, but to be totally honest, in this thing, you can't really trust them. It's more of just an aid to help you look behind because the camera is mounted so high. But yeah, everything is working as it should. So there's this little box up here shows like the tire pressure monitoring, and then here, if I can find it, there we go. The TPMS setting is right there. So we're gonna go ahead and hook that up real quick, make sure that's all working, and yeah. Okay, so back outside, we're gonna look, see what we got left for what we need to install here. Wow, this can do up to 32 tires. That's insane. Oh, kill that bug. Alright. So obviously we're not using some of this because I already had it. So obviously I don't want to be taking things off the roof that are permanently mounted and trying to remount the same things. So we're gonna keep this as another spare panel. Maybe we'll find a way to, I don't know if this is possible, find a way to maybe place it up front here and make the wiring go inside. But as far as that other camera is concerned, I'm probably just going to power it off the internal 12-volt system. Anyway, so as far as what we need left over in here, let me see. So we need the SD card. That's to go inside the screen so we can record. It's going to be great for the whole using it as a dash cam. We don't need these mounts, so these are spare. What we do need is these tire sensors and the batteries. So let me see if I can pull these out. Well, let me go ahead. Yeah, I'll need both hands for that. And then I think I will need one or two of these. This is to help the transmission, the signal boost from the TPMS sensors. They do come with alligator clips, but we are going to direct connect them into a junction that I have at the back of the RV. I think I should only need one of those because the other front tires are very close to the screen. And then this one in the back. And then we'll see how we set that up. All right. Okay, so we are all done with the TPMS sensors. Go ahead and plug this thing in. The only thing I have left to do is to mount this plate for the camera on the other side of the dash there. So the camera should come to life. There we go. Got the front camera on the left and the rear camera on the right. And then the TPMS sensors should also come to life in just a moment. It's the first time I've tried turning this off and back on again, so hopefully it actually saved the settings. Because if it didn't, that's gonna suck. So we'll tap up here where it says TPMS. And I'm not getting anything. Alright guys, well, this is take two. Having that trouble the other day getting the TPMS sensors to work. I did make a hard stop, reached out to the manufacturer and told them what was going on, and it turns out that these sensors only check in every 4 minutes unless there is a significant increase or decrease in the tire pressure. They will only check in with the base station every 4 minutes. I do have two boosters installed as well. That didn't seem to make a bit of difference, but it seems to be, when I've tried it with the timer of 4 minutes, by the time that 4 minute timer is up, all sensors have checked in. So, as you can see here, I have it on the backup camera right now. The front camera, I am still figuring out how I'm going to do that. Right now, it's pointing to the front, but I need to find it a more reliable power source, because the solar panel will not work through the window very well. It'll work, just not very well. So I got that sitting right here. And then obviously the one on the screen is the backup camera. If I want to go to both, just tap the screen, hit Q mode. And if it was on, I'd have the what's going to be the dash camera on the right, and then the backup camera on the left. And then I just tap there and I go back to the backup camera by itself. But up in the right corner here, these are the tire pressure monitor sensors. This is the quick display. It'll flash through each tire and tell you what the tire pressure is and the temperature. As you can see, I have 5 out of 6. I had an issue getting to one of the tires. I'm gonna have to wait till I move this thing to connect it, but I'm sure it works just fine. So ignore the fact that I only have 5 out of 6 showing up right now. But if I go ahead and click this, it'll give us more details or a bit of a better overview. You'll see the temperature on the right and the tire pressure on the left for each of the wheels in the configuration of this vehicle. You can add a significant amount more, as you can see, depending on what size of vehicle you're putting it on. But I just have the dual axles with the double wheels on the back there, so that is my configuration. And there's the one sensor I told you guys about that I haven't been able to hook up yet. But so far it works. And what I have noticed, obviously I'm not going to go out there and be letting air on the tires, but you'll see that I have the high pressure alert set and the low pressure. I might have to play with these a little bit. And then I have the temperature alarm. But this does work. It will make noise. It will flash on the screen. You will know if you have an issue. So far, I'm pretty impressed. I'm just not sure how I feel about that whole waiting 4 minutes, but I guess it's okay because it takes me longer than that to get this thing ready to go anyway, and I usually like to warm it up, so I guess it's not such a big deal. Anyway, let me go ahead and transition to our closing here, and I'll fill you guys in with any kind of discounts that you guys can get or where you can get this from, and the big question, how much it's going to cost you. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, well that's all I have for this video. I hope you liked the backup camera and the tire pressure monitoring system. That was pretty darn cool. The only thing I'm not too sure about is the 4-minute check-in, but as I said, it's not really a big deal. You know, you warm up your rig longer than that, and I guess it's all in the name of saving battery power, because those things take like the little watch batteries. So it's just a way of, I guess, saving battery power so they're not always continuously transmitting. Anyway, the good news is that if there is a sudden tire pressure loss or increase, they will go ahead and report like they're supposed to. So that's not a big issue. But anyway, I just was looking at the current cost of the unit. It looks like it's on sale right now for $679. That includes the two the transmitters to extend the signal, I think 4 to 6 tire pressure monitoring sensors, and then the camera. You have to look on the website to be sure, like there's different configurations. I will have a discount link in the description below. Not sure what that is yet. I do have to look that up. They did not give that to me. I think it's the same as my last one, but it will be down below in the description. So if you guys would like to get yourself a little discount on top of the sale, then go ahead and check out the link below. Anyway, appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for joining me and bearing with me on this. I hope it was very informative and this guys helps you out. And I will see you guys on the next video. All right, peace out.